Hello everybody, my name is Brandon. Welcome back to Cinefessions, where we talk all things media. So today's video is almost 3 months in the making because I have not filmed a Dollar Tree haul since I believe, I haven't looked this up, but I feel like it was September the last time I did this. And so I have been gathering slowly some things here. In the beginning of October, we ended up going on vacation where I found some items at the Dollar Tree. So you are going to see some items from the previous wave. And then finally, I went on Black Friday and all over that weekend, and none of my Dollar Trees were getting in new movies for whatever reason. But finally, yesterday, we ended up stopping at a Dollar Tree. A couple days before that, I stopped at another random one who like almost never gets in movies anymore, but they had a few in this pile here. And then last night, I did pick up quite a handful. And so while these are not all of like the awesome movies that I've been hearing about, some people have been talking about Scream Factory titles and everything like that. And while there's nothing like that here, I do have some really cool titles, I think, that I'm really excited to share. And there are going to be some B-tier horror movies in here, but I'm still happy because I put back probably 3 times the amount that I'm going to show you guys. But this is a larger video because I do have 31 titles, 10 Blu-rays, 21 DVDs, but that's okay because this has been about 3 months in the making. So 10 movies a month is a million times better than what I was doing earlier in the year. So yeah, between my inherited movie collection, some amazing sales at Disc Replay, I just haven't had the need or the desire or really the want to go to Dollar Tree and just buy everything. And so what you're seeing here is a, I hate to say it, but a carefully curated list of movies that I decided, you know what, this one looks interesting enough, I am going to add it to my collection. So that's what we're going to talk about today, guys, and I am really thrilled to share with you guys everything I grabbed. But if you guys do enjoy this video, please give it a like down below. That engagement really does help me out. But with that said, let's not waste any more time at all. Let's dive right in to my latest Dollar Tree haul. As always, we'll start with the DVDs, and let's start with some of the more questionable ones here, I guess. But the first one is The Dwarves of Dragon Mountain. Now, this was absolutely a vacation find because, you know, in my right state of mind, not on vacation, I might think, nah, you don't need that. But here we are. Vacation brain said I did. And, I don't know, like the word that they use on the back here is claustrophobic. Now, looking at these pictures, thinking about what this is, you would think something like The Hobbit or Lord of the Rings. Like the word claustrophobic does not spring to mind at all. So I don't know why they chose the word claustrophobic. Maybe it was like the best they could come up with in terms of the reviews they had. But anyway, this looks interesting. It is a it says, if you're a Lord of the Rings fan, you'll get a lot out of this movie. So I'm not necessarily a Lord of the Rings fan, but it looked interesting. It probably has some very questionable CGI, but hey, it looked pretty fun, at least to my vacation brain. So I grabbed it. This is The Dwarves of Dragon Mountain. Maybe it'll be better than I'm thinking it is. We'll see. Next up is a family movie that I've actually never seen before, but I've always heard about it. This is Freebirds, and you have Owen Wilson in this with Woody Harrelson and Amy Poehler, so a really strong cast, and it just looks really cute. I love the animation style on this movie. This is one, I really wish I could have found this one on Blu-ray, but I'll take the DVD for $1. Why not? I know my daughter will like this, and we have a DVD player in the car, not a Blu-ray player, so this actually works out for the best, but I'm sure she'll have a kick with this one. So Freebirds, another one for the family collection. All right, so now we're going to get into a bunch of like B-level horror movies, but that's okay. Some of these look so interesting, and this one definitely does. This is Monster Party. So what we're following here are these this like small-time burglars, basically. There's 3 of them, and they break into this house that happens to be hosting a support group. The support group, though, is for serial killers, and so what should have been just like a small-time heist now becomes this fight for survival. Like, what a unique and interesting premise. I couldn't pass it up. So Monster Party sounds really cool, and I cannot wait to see if it lives up to the kind of the idea that it's presented here. So Monster Party. Another one that looked really interesting is Flight from Hell, Dead on Arrival. So this is one with Ed Westwick, who is actually from Gossip Girl, if you've ever watched that. But basically, we're following this flight as it has a breakout of some sort. So I don't believe it's like zombie related at all. It almost sounds like it might be supernatural, but I don't know. It looks interesting. I tend to enjoy movies that take place in one location. I've seen a couple that take place on a plane that I really like. So hopefully I will enjoy this one. It just sounds, again, pretty unique. So Flight from Hell, Dead on Arrival. We'll see if this one's any good. This next one I had to grab because it has Sean C. Phillips in it right here, who, if you're watching me, you probably know who that is, but it's Cool Duder here on YouTube. And really, he was one of the first people I watched on YouTube when it was comes to movie related to content. And so I wanted to grab it because of him, and it's called Restricted Area. It is basically these group of 4 go on a camping expedition when they are approached by this like apocalyptic cult, and it becomes a fight for survival. So it just like, that's right up my alley, a survival film, a cult film, like absolutely something I will probably enjoy. And it has a really good actor in it, or somebody I really enjoy from YouTube, so I wanted to pick it up. So Restricted Area sounds very cool. Next up is a movie that has the potential to be a found footage film, and I really hope it is, but it's another low-budget zombie movie. This is American Zombieland. Lights, camera, run is the tagline there, but this one is about a horror film director, or a wannabe horror film director, who gets involved in this zombie apocalypse. So the reason I'm thinking it's a found footage film is because of the screenshots on the back here. It looks like it could be, and I really hope it is, to kind of make it stand out as a zombie film, I guess. So we'll see. I don't know. There were a couple zombie films this time around. I ended up putting most of them back, but this one ended up coming home with me. So hopefully it's a good one. American Zombieland. So this one, now that I'm looking at it a little more closely, there are some issues here. So first off, it's called 3 Lives, and then the tagline is, you only get one. Okay. That's an odd juxtaposition. And then, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it there, but on the back, it actually has a typo. And so, I don't know. The quality control, not really there for High Octane is who released this one. But either way, the premise sounds interesting, and that's really all that matters. I'm just poking fun at this point. But basically, this woman wakes up in this bunker with 2 other people. One of the people was trapped in with her is a man who actually assaulted her 15 years prior, and his best friend. And so, she's in the unfortunate spot of relying on them to escape from this place that she's locked into. So yeah, it sounds interesting. The relationship there sounds really messed up, but hopefully they can make an interesting film out of it. So yeah, we'll see if this one's any good, typos aside and kind of that weird juxtaposition of the tagline aside, but we'll check this one out at some point. 3 Lives from High Octane. Next up here is one that I will blame on Vacation Brain, but that's okay. It is what it is. This is The Haunted. So what I love about this, on the back here, there's 3 pull quotes. 2 of them are from the same person, which is just hilarious to me. But anyway, this one is about our main character who takes on this job as a caretaker in this like creepy mansion. And then of course, supernatural things are going to happen from there, or paranormal things. So I don't know. We'll see. It's super generic, but maybe it'll be better than it looks. I have no clue. Vacation Brain struck again. This is The Haunted. This one looks awesome. It almost gives me Phone Booth vibes, if you've ever seen that film, which I love that movie. But this is Roadside. And basically, we are following these 2 people who break down on the side of the road, and then they are being haunted by some unseen force in the woods. At least, that's kind of what I get from the quick synopsis here that I'm looking at. And it just looks awesome. I don't know. Like, I love movies like this, and I'm hoping this one will be as good as it sounds. So we're going to check this one out, definitely. Roadside. Hopefully it's a good one. This next one is probably not going to be great, but I don't know, it just looks good from the cover. This is Scarred. Of course, it's going to be a slasher film, and basically we have these 4 models who go to this abandoned house to do a photo shoot. Well, it turns out one of the family members is still there stalking people, and so of course that's our main killer here, I'm guessing. And so yeah, should be pretty interesting. I don't know if it's going to be great or not, but hey, you know, he looks cool, so there's that. So we'll check this one out at some point. Scarred. We're getting into some here that I'm really excited about, and this one is definitely one of those. This is Followed, and it looks like another found footage film, which I'm all about, but basically here we have Mike, aka Drop the Mic, who is a popular vlogger and social media influencer. He's offered a $250,000 sponsorship if he can stay in this house, and so he does, but of course terrible things are going to happen, and I'm really hoping that this is found footage like I'm thinking it is, because I love that genre, and this sounds like something that could work really well for that genre. So hopefully I will like this one. Followed sounds really cool. This is one that falls into that super generic horror movie that I typically don't want to pick up anymore, but it has Dee Wallace in it. So it's like, how do I put it down, you know? Dee Wallace is in Dolls. And basically, this couple buys this house that comes with this like big doll collection in the attic, and weird things are going to happen from there. And as far as I can tell, it sounds like Dee Wallace actually plays a relatively big role in this. I watched her during my 13 days of Halloween. She was in Hansel and Gretel, and she played a major role there, and she is just awesome. She's excellent. It doesn't matter what the budget of the film is, like, she is just good and will put in her all no matter what. So that's why I wanted to give this one a shot, because I really respect her and love her as an actress. So I had to pick this one out. Dolls with Dee Wallace. One of the ones that I am most excited about here, and you'll see why, this is Don't Let Them In. And you can see right on the top there, it says, Your Next meets The Purge. But why I love it is because it looks like The Strangers, which is one of my favorite films of all time. And so, yeah, basically, it's a home invasion film done in the style of The Strangers, The Purge, Your Next. Like, obviously, you know, those titles were already listed. And so, yeah, it just, like, look at the back there. It looks awesome. I love these creepy masks. Absolutely gonna watch this one soon. I cannot wait to see it. It just looks awesome. Just right up my alley. So very happy to add Don't Let Them In to the collection. Alright, so now let's talk about a couple sci-fi films I grabbed. And this first one here is with Luke Hemsworth. This is Encounter. And it says an alien encounter... an alien discovery is about to change everything. So they do have Hemsworth on the cover here, and I guess that's just because the Hemsworth name is worth money, but on the back, it talks about the fact that Anna Hutchinson is in this from Cabin in the Woods, plus Tom Atkins. Like, how do you not have them on the cover over Luke Hemsworth? What a missed opportunity there. But anyway, it says in the back, in the tradition of Arrival and Close Encounters of the Third Kind. So hopefully I will like this one. Those are both, you know, good movies. I'll admit I don't like Close Encounters, but I like that style of film. So hopefully I will like Encounter. We'll see. Yeah, really cool cast with this. Just with Tom Atkins in it, I had to grab it. So Encounter with Luke Hemsworth, Tom Atkins, and Anna Hutchinson. Speaking of awesome casts, this one I grabbed simply because it has Jason Momoa in it. Aquaman himself is in this one. This is Debug. So I didn't really know Momoa at all before Aquaman, but he actually played in quite a number of lower budget films, which I'm sure that this is as well. But yeah, this looks like a horror sci-fi, I guess, or like a thriller, sci-fi thriller. It says, in deep space cyber horror, 6 young computer hackers are sent to work on a derelict space freighter as part of a work release program, and then they start falling prey to the AI. Like, that sounds just awesome. I love movies like that, so I'm hoping I'll like this one just because Jason Momoa is in it. I really like him, so we'll check this one out soon. Debug. So everything else here on the DVD side of things are bigger films, are more well-known films, I guess I'll say. And the first one up is The Frankenstein Theory. So this was a really cool find. You can see it's actually from the creators of The Last Exorcism, which I really enjoy, another found footage film, since we've been talking about those. But yeah, this looks very interesting. What if the most chilling novel of all time was actually based on a true account of a horrific experiment gone wrong? That is the question on the back there. And so yes, I'm all in for that. That sounds really cool. So yeah, Frankenstein Theory is one that I have always heard about. I remember when we got it in at Family Video when I worked there, and I just have always wanted to see it. So I was really happy to find it at the Dollar Tree. So The Frankenstein Theory. Next up is just an amazing cast, and I'm so happy I found this. This is Masterminds. So you have Zach Galifianakis in this, Kristen Wiig, Jason Sudeikis, and Owen Wilson. Like, I love them, so I'm sure I'm going to enjoy this one. Yeah, just a comedy. Like, I believe they are trying to pull off a heist of some sort, and things are going to kind of go wrong because it's them. So yeah, really intrigued to check this one out. Another big name film that I was really excited to find from Dollar Tree, Masterminds. So I have a couple of MGM titles that I was able to find on DVD, and this is a really well-known film that I just haven't seen yet. This is 8 Heads in a Duffel Bag with Joe Pesci. So honestly, I was going to put this one back just because I know I'd heard of it and I knew of it and everything, but I didn't know if it would really be for me. But then I realized that it's from the same people who brought you Dumb and Dumber, and that it's really a comedy. Plus, I flipped it over and like, look at this cast. Like, what an amazing cast on this. So of course I had to end up grabbing it, and I'm hoping I'll like this one because it looks like a lot of fun. So 8 heads in a duffel bag, and I feel like a lot of people have probably seen this one. So let me know if I'm wrong. Is this a comedy? Like, I believe it is. Let me know if I'm wrong down below. But yeah, looks like a heck of a lot of fun. 8 heads in a duffel bag with Joe Pesci. I am so thrilled that I was able to find this one because I have always wanted to see this movie. This is Vampire's Kiss with Nick Cage. And this is just one of those infamous Nicolas Cage movies that I've always heard about but never sat down to watch. And now it is in the collection. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I believe there is a Scream Factory, I want to say a double feature potentially with this on it. I could be wrong. I might be mixing this up, but I want to say there is. And yeah, I just never owned that. And so now I have it on DVD. So yeah, very cool find. Vampire's Kiss, one of the most memorable and kind of infamous Nicolas Cage films. A really cool add to the collection. This next one I found on DVD, unfortunately, and I would have loved to have found it on Blu-ray, but I'll take what I can get for $1. This is Bushwick, and this has Dave Bautista in it from the WWE and Brittany Snow, which I love both of them. I was shocked at how good of an actor Bautista was. Like, with Guardians of the Galaxy, he was in a movie called Heist, which I ranted and raved about last year. I absolutely loved it. Like, he's just a really good actor. He's good at what he does, and obviously Brittany Snow's fantastic. So yeah, very intrigued to check this one out. I believe this is like a post-apocalyptic thriller, or a maybe apocalyptic if they're kind of entering it. And yeah, it just sounds awesome. So very excited that I was able to find Bushwick. The last DVD I found was one that I was so surprised to see. So I own the original on this on Blu-ray. I actually have not watched it yet, but I plan to. This is The Houses October Built 2. So this is a found footage film, and one that I've always heard really good things about. Now, to be fair, I've heard really good things about the first one and not so much about the second one, but that's okay. I'm definitely going to check it out at some point. So yeah, just look at the back there, like really creepy looking, and yeah, very excited to add this one to the horror collection. So The Houses October Built 2 is the last DVD I grabbed. So now let's jump over to the 10 Blu-rays I picked up. So the first handful of Blu-rays are all from Echo Bridge, so you know kind of the level that you're getting with these, but that's all right. The first one here is The Sneak Over, and you can see right from the font that they are totally going for Stranger Things vibes. They frankly just stole the font for theirs, but yeah, this one looked pretty fun. It's going to be that similar style. Basically, our main character is new to town. He's kind of awkward, hasn't made any new friends, but he does have this old movie, this old VHS tape that like all the kids want to see, and so he's going to use that to try to make some friends, and it's just kind of going to play out from there. So yeah, we'll see. It has an interesting premise. I like that an old VHS tape is brought into the game, so hopefully this one will be fun. Stranger Thing vibes aside, we'll see. The Sneak Over on Blu-ray. This next one is one that I am 99% sure my buddy sent me this when it was at Walmart trying to get me to buy it, but it just looked terrible, and honestly it still does, but it's one that I'm hoping I can watch and still enjoy, even though it might not be the best thing ever. This is Dollface. So you can just take a look there, like, look at the back. Nothing about this looks excellent or that it like stands out at all, but I'm hoping it'll be one of those decent horror movies at least. So yeah, it says, Marmalade, a shy, inexperienced woman will inherit her grandmother's extravagant condo if she can fulfill one condition. She must take care of her grandmother's extensive doll collection. So that's what we're dealing with here. No clue if it's going to be as bad as it looks or if it might be a little bit better. We'll see. Dollface, really intrigued to see how this one is. The premise on this next one is absolutely absurd, but it's a zombie movie on Blu-ray, so I grabbed it. This is The Day of the Living Dead. So I guess what's happening here is that this insurance adjuster or whatever goes to this tobacco company to try to like see if their claim for $13 million is legit or not, and he stumbles on things that eventually lead to a zombie outbreak. Like, how absurd, how silly, but maybe it'll be done well. I have no idea. The Day of the Living Dead. Hopefully it's better than it sounds. This next one I grabbed while I was on vacation as well, and I think I put it back initially, and then I was reading some reviews, and it actually sounds pretty decent. This is Everfall. So with this one, we're following this this girl who goes to a skating tryout, competition, whatever it is, and she fails, and so her trainer sends her to Everfall to train more, and things are kind of weird in that town, and that's where the movie picks up. These strange things start happening. So yeah, I tend to like movies where like the town is kind of haunted. So hopefully that's what we're getting here. I don't know, but it sounds like it. And like I said, if I'm not mistaken, this was the one I think where the Letterboxd reviews were actually pretty decent from what I've read. So hopefully it will be pretty good. Everfall, a weird ice skating horror movie, I guess. Here's one that's not typically in my wheelhouse, but I really like the actress in this. This is The Wedding Year. So Sarah Hyland is in this, who is from Modern Family, and she's hilarious. I really like her. So I figured I would give this one a shot. Basically, this couple is forced to put their marriage to the ultimate test, it says, by attending 7 weddings in 1 year. So yeah, I guess that's a big thing. I don't know. That stuff never bothered me even before I was married, so I have no idea. But I can't relate. But hopefully it'll be good nonetheless. So The Wedding Year with Sarah Hyland and Tyler James Williams. This actually is an upgrade for me because somebody told me in the comments probably a year plus ago that this was actually a really good movie. And so I figured I would upgrade it since I found it for $1. This is Damascus cover. I might be saying that wrong. I don't know. But this has Jonathan Rhys Meyers in it, who's really good. And yeah, I don't know really what this one is about too much other than it's an action film that has been recommended to me down in the comments on one of my older videos when I grabbed the DVD. So yep, I will trade in the DVD and hold on to the Blu-ray and see if this one is as good as I've heard. So Damascus cover, whatever it is, with Jonathan Rhys Meyers. This next one, though it does have, I believe this is Spanish on the cover. I'm terrible with that, but I think it's Spanish. This is actually called Run All Night, and it has a really good cast. It's an action thriller with Liam Neeson is in this, Vincent D'Onofrio, Ed Harris. So yeah, just a really good cast, and I'll show some of the pictures on the back there. I've heard pretty decent things about this. It's kind of a generic action film from everything I've read, but for $1, I'll take a generic action film. And I really like the slipcover just because it is in, it's a foreign slipcover and it is shiny if I can put it in the right light right. So it's just a cool slipcover. So that's always fun. So Run All Night with Liam Neeson. So I was about to say that the next 3 titles are bigger names, but frankly, not to disrespect Run All Night, because that's a relatively well-known name as well. But the rest of these are larger titles, I guess, or more well-known titles. The first one here is Mary with Gary Oldman. And this is actually from the writer of The Shallows, which is the shark movie with Blake Lively in it. And I'll admit, I liked 47 Meters Down better than The Shallows. They came out around the same time, and so I always, in my head, they're related. But The Shallows was pretty good for what it was, and Blake Lively's fantastic, so it was fun watching her. But anyway, Mary, back to the movie at hand here. Basically, Gary Oldman decides to impulse buy this old antique boat and hopes it'll be kind of something to help his family. Well, his family goes on this boat, and they start getting terrorized. So I believe it is a supernatural film filled with, kind of like Ghost Ship or something similar. So it sounds really interesting, and we'll see if it's any good or not. So Mary with Gary Oldman. This next one I actually passed up on my first time through, but then on like my second or third time looking through them because I didn't want to miss anything, I thought, you know what? This actually looks really interesting. It's not what I initially thought it was, but this is Galveston. So this has Ben Foster and Elle Fanning in it, and it's like a crime thriller, basically. Ben Foster is like a mob hitman. He ends up, finishing this or doing this hit or whatever, and finds Elle Fanning's character locked up. He rescues her, and they're trying to make their way to Galveston for safety, for whatever reason. So yeah, I don't know. Sounds interesting. I love Ben Foster and Elle Fanning. I think they're both excellent at what they do. So hopefully this one will be pretty good. So Galveston with 2 really strong actors in the lead roles here. The last Blu-ray I was able to find is one that I have been wanting to add to the collection for a while now because it's been so cheap, but for whatever reason I just haven't until today. I found Arizona for $1. Like, what a really cool find. This is Danny McBride, and it is a kind of dark comedy from what I can tell, but he ends up taking this character hostage, Rosemary DeWitt's character. He takes her hostage. This actually takes place in like '09 during the financial housing crisis. He takes her hostage, and just kind of things go crazy from there. And so, yeah, Luke Wilson plays a role in this as well. So it should be really fun. I've heard really good things about it, especially, considering that you could pick this up on 4K for like under $10. I didn't know if it was going to be any good or not, but having, read some reviews, it actually sounds pretty fun. So yeah, very intrigued to check out Arizona with Danny McBride and Luke Wilson. Hopefully it's pretty good. So that is the last Blu-ray and the last item that I've grabbed at Dollar Tree over the last 3 months here. All right, so there they all are. I can't fit them in one shot, but yes, you get the idea. So yeah, I'm gonna drop them. 31 titles over the last 2.5, 3 months from the Dollar Tree. And yeah, just some really cool ones here. Some big name movies that you don't often see at the Dollar Tree. So yeah, very happy that I was able to find some of these. But I want to hear from you guys. What have you been finding at the Dollar Tree lately? Because I know so many of you are just like me. You go shopping at the Dollar Tree relatively often. So I'd love to hear if you guys are finding any other great items. But I do want to call out Ken from MidLevelMedia. He has posted some really good Dollar Tree hauls lately. He has another one coming up that he teased in his live stream last night, I guess it was, that just sounds like it's going to have a bunch of great titles. So definitely check his channel out if you want more with Dollar Tree, which I already know that most of you already follow him anyway. But just in case you're not, definitely check out Ken over at MidLevelMedia. But anyway, guys, that is it for today. So if you did enjoy this video, please give it a like down below. That engagement really does help me out. And like I always say, guys, I don't just talk movies, I talk all things media, be it books, movies, video games, graphic novels, manga. If it's media related, I'm interested in it. And if you are too, you might consider subscribing. All right, guys, so that's going to do it for today. I just want to say thank you all so much for watching, and I want to encourage you to consume some media today. I'll catch you next time.